March is coming to an end, spring is already here, which means that it's time to plan my bullet journal for April. Hi, my name is Kat. If you're new to my channel, I make studio vlogs, bullet journal content, pen paling content, and a little bit of stationery and cooking and gardening. Honestly, a little bit of everything that I would like to share with you guys. And today I'm going to plan my pages for April. My theme and pages are super special this month because I let you control what I would do in my bullet journal for this month. I did this a couple of times on my channel in the past, back in like 2019, and it's a tradition that I really like to have on my channel because I feel like we can engage more together and you get to control my bullet journal for the month. So I asked you on Instagram some bullet journal theme ideas as well as on YouTube on my community tab, and you guys suggested a bunch of themes, so I just had 4 to choose from. And the theme that won from the 4 that I put on stories for you to choose were bunnies and gardening. And I've never done a bunnies theme. I did a pastel bears theme, but I've never done a bunnies theme with garden theme related stuff. So I was like, this would be so much fun. And I also asked you if you wanted to see a more doodly theme or a more minimal one. And you mentioned doodly theme. So that's exactly what I'm going to do today. I started by doing some bubble lettering for the title. I'm usually okay with doing like calligraphy, but for this theme I think bubble lettering would match better. So that's what I did, and I'm using the Pentel brush sign pen in light brown for the title because this was the shade of brown that I wanted to use. I think it matches well with the bunnies that I'm going to do soon. So that is the pen that I'm using and that I highly recommend for small calligraphy. If you watched my latest studio vlog, you know that I changed my art style a little bit. So the way I'm doing the lettering and the bunnies are a bit different than usual because this is my new art style. And I'm not going to have any products related to this theme on my shop yet because I'm planning to do a big shop update in May. But if you're one of my Ko-Fi members, you're still going to receive a bunnies inspired postcard in the mail in April. So one of the elements that I wanted to incorporate in this theme were stamps. I have been really obsessed with designing stamps and seeing them on Pinterest, so I decided to include them in this theme as well. So the bunnies are going to have a garden, but they are also going to be on stamps, and I think they look pretty cute, and I'm thinking about doing a collection inspired by stamping. For my quote page, I did the same layout as my other quote pages for the other months, where I have a border around and a quote in the middle, and that is my mantra for the month. And for this month, I did the border a little bit more on the gardeny side, so there's a bunch of branches and leaves on it. And my quote for the month is "Take your dreams seriously." As you know, I'm doing the Artist Way course, and I'm in this recovery of my creative journey. And so taking my dreams seriously is really important, and that's what I'm going to be focusing in April. I'm already doing that work, but in April I'm going to take my dreams very seriously. So I wanted this quote to be my mantra for the whole month. For the bunnies, I'm using the zero point 0.3 Pentel point liner. These are my favorite point liners to use. And for the coloring of everything, I'm going to use mostly zebra mind liners and Tomodul brush pens. For the stamps, I didn't want to draw anything on them, so I decided to take advantage of my huge collection of washi tape and use different patterns of washi tapes to make the stamps. And here I'm using a green one, a red one, and an orange one, and they look super cute on the stamps, and I think they give it even more color and texture to the whole theme. Once my main elements were done, I just added other elements related to gardening, so strawberries, stars, mushrooms, a carrot, a butterfly, things like that to just spice up the theme a little bit. This is a very minimal but doodly theme that is like the balance that I like to have on my themes, and it looks super cute. And of course that this video is sped up, but I spent a good 3 hours doing all of this theme, and you're going to be able to see the real-time process of it tomorrow on my real-time bullet journal setup. And it was raining outside, so I'm going to give it a very lo-fi theme and just add some music on top with the rain pouring in the background. I did some cute spots on the bunnies because I thought that they would look super cute if they had little brown spots, and then I moved on into my calendar. So I'm writing April at the top with the same font as the title. And for the calendar, I actually asked you if you wanted a teeny tiny calendar for the month or if you wanted a big one. And most of you like big calendars, and I personally like big calendars when I'm planning things related to memories or events. But if I don't have anything happening in a specific month, I usually don't do a big calendar. But you guys chose a big calendar, so I did a big medium-sized calendar that would fit on my traveler's notebook. And I'm going to have a video comparing a travel size notebook to an A5 bullet journal so you can see the differences in sizes, because that is something that I got asked a lot, is how do I do bullet journal and how I plan themes and if I have space for everything that I want in a traveler's notebook. So don't worry, because a video like that is coming soon. But for my calendar page, I had two blocks, one for to-dos of the month and another one for goals of the month. And for the actual calendar, I wanted to do the squares separated from each other to be like little spots of color and do each square with a different color, but staying inside the color palette for the month. So blues, reds, yellow, greens, and a little bit of brown. But I usually over plan my bullet journal themes, which is a problem. And this time I said, you know what? I'm going to paint all the squares and not plan where the colors are going to be. So I'm deciding the colors on the spot. And nothing bad happened. The only thing was that for the 22nd day, I had to use brown because that square was surrounded by all four colors, but nothing bad happened. And in the end, I really like how this fun calendar ended up looking like. I always like to try different layouts and themes in my bullet journal, as well as how to do things in my bullet journal, and this one turned out super cute and is something that I recommend. Don't overplan your themes, just go with the flow and do what you feel that it's right. Once all of that was done, I drew all the bunnies and I painted everything, and I ended up doing some leaves on the border for the quote page, but I just didn't show that, but I did it in here, and they make the little blocks for the goals and my to-do list for the month so much cuter. I really like this idea of adding leaves to it. So yeah, I really like how this theme turned out. The next page in this setup is going to be my habit tracker. My habit tracker is one of the most important pages in my bullet journal, and for April I decided to try something different and include different things in my habit tracker page. So a habit for me is something that I do almost daily, but is something that I want to incorporate more and more into my routine, into my daily life. So in this habit tracker page, I also included two other things to make myself accountable for those as well. And I'm going to explain that in a little bit, but for this habit tracker page, I asked you if you wanted to see mini individual calendars or if you wanted like a huge table or a line habit tracker like I did for March, and you guys chose mini calendars, which is my favorite way of doing habit trackers, to be honest. And I decided to do 6 calendars. I'm not 100% sure about what I'm going to track because I'm leaving this for the beginning of the month to decide that. But in the meantime, I decided to add here 6 habit trackers to track my things for the month. I know that I'm going to track the usual things. So for example, my workouts, my water intake, my morning pages, everything like that, but I wanted to also track other things, so I'm going to have 6 different trackers for that. And below that, I'm not going to track my sleep anymore because that is not really useful to me anymore. So I did 2 different blocks, one for my artist date ideas, because as you know, I'm doing the artist date course and each week you have an artist date to do, and I've been struggling with ideas for that. So every time that I have an idea for an artist date, I will write it in here. And I have 4 weeks for April, so I'm going to make sure that my ideas are in here and then I'm going to actually do them throughout the month. And the other block is for cooking, because as you know, I love to cook, I love to bake, and I've been sharing some recipes on my channel. And so I really want to include here any ideas of things that I can cook or that I can bake to then film for a video. One of the things that I want to try for April is to make my own bread from scratch. I think the idea of doing everyday items from scratch is phenomenal, so I really want to try that. I also want to try to do some creme brulee, probably. And I also want to try to do francesinha for my husband. Francesinha is a very typical Portuguese dish, but it's really hard to do. But my best friend did some for her boyfriend, and I wanted to try that recipe as well, so I'm going to try that for April. I think it's really important to make space for the things that you really want to do throughout the month in your bullet journal, so I hope I can use these 2 blocks for that. Part of living my dream life is to share more cooking content on my channel and keep recording the Artist Way course on my channel, so I'm really excited for these 2 things for April. To finish up the pages, I drew a stamp on the bottom right corner, and the bunnies, and some flowers, and mushrooms, and carrots, and my theme for April was done. So thank you so much for watching my channel. Once again, thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and like this video. Comment a bunny emoji if you watched the video until this point, and I'll see you tomorrow for this theme in real time. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.